So what happens if now we have the more general case of the integral of p over q? We need the condition that the degree of q needs to be at least 2 higher than the degree of p. So the degree is just the highest power of x. So for example, the degree of x squared plus 3 is 2, the degree of x cubed is 3, the degree of 1 is 0. So the example we've done before of 1 over x squared plus a squared satisfies this, because if p is 1, the degree is 0, and if q is a squared plus x squared, then the degree is 2, and that's okay. So for this general case, p over q, we use the same contour. We use the semicircular contour of radius r. And we consider the limit as r goes to infinity. We draw these things. So we've got our contour of p of z, z over q of z. So this bit here, as r goes to infinity, is the integral we want. So that's equal to I. And then we also have the integral around here, which is the integral from 0 to pi, and dz, so here z is r e to the I theta, so dz is r, which is a constant, times differentiating e to the I theta brings down an I, so it's r e to the I theta d theta, but I mustn't forget I've got p, which is a function of r e to the I theta, and I'm dividing by q, which is a function of r times e to the I theta. Now the key thing is what happens to this as r goes to infinity. And that depends on the degree of p and q. So I can write this and say, well, okay, it goes off as order r to the power 1 plus the degree of p, and then I'm dividing by a polynomial in r, so it's going to be the degree of q minus the degree of q. So this is only going to be 0 if this thing here is less than 0. So that's going to be true if this is true. Okay. Yeah, okay. So as long as this is true, this will tend to 0, and we just end up with I being 2 pi I, the sum of the residues of p over q for z equals zj, where zj are any of the poles above the real axis. So whatever poles you have above the real axis, you sum over those, the sum of the residues of those, multiply 2 pi I. And so I should write, so zj, real part of zj, sorry, imaginary part of zj needs to be greater than 0, so above the real axis.